Class 10th Mathematics, Trigonometry. Previously we have discussed about the trigonometry. Now let us know about the applications of trigonometry. Observer, one of the person is observing an object which is above of his eyesight. One of the observer is observing an object which is above his eyesight. So he is observing it. Let us see, this is a tower. He is observing this tower. This tower is above his eyesight. Eyesight is nothing but, if we see that eyesight will be like this, straight, and we see this according to the eyesight, it will be straight. So when he is observing the object which is there above of his eyesight, this is called the line of sight. Let us recall again. An observer, one of the observer is observing a tower, an object which is above of his eyesight. Is that above of eyesight which he is observing, it forms a line, and this is called line of sight. Let us take the horizontal distance from the observer to the tower. Is this one? This is a horizontal distance, and he is observing this tower. Eyesight is like this. This is called line of sight. And when observer is there, observer is here, and the tower is, he is observing the tower, then this is called, the angle is formed as angle of elevation. This is angle of elevation. This is the angle of elevation which is formed with the observer in the horizontal line. So let us take another situation. The observer, this is the angle of elevation. And let us take another situation, that this tower, it is a tower, let us see, and an observer is observing from the top of the tower, and an object which is the down of eyesight. Let us think this is a tree. Let us think this is a plant or tree, a small plant, and he is observing this. He is observing from the top of the tower an object which is below of his eyesight. This is also line of sight. Line of sight. Let us recall, in the second situation, an observer is observing from the top of the tower and an object which is below of his eyesight, that is the line of sight, which is the eyesight, it is formed as line of sight. And observer is observing this one, a plant or tree. So the angle is formed as this is called as angle of depression. This is angle of depression. And here we can see that his eyesight will be straight like this in this form. He is observing this below of eyesight. So his eyesight will be straight. If it is straight, and it forms like this, a straight line from here, and then what is the angle formed with the line of sight? That will be equal to the angle formed with the horizontal line. Let us take, this is a theta, then here the angle formed with the horizontal line, and his line side will be theta. And we know that if line is formed in a transversal alternate line. Alternate angles will be equal. These two are alternate angles. We know that this is angle theta is equals to angle formed with the horizontal line and line of sight. This is called angle of depression. Let us take one example of it. Before that, let us recall this. An observer is observing the object which is there on top of the above. Let us take anything which is above his eyesight. An observer is observing the object which is above of his eyesight. This is called line of sight and it is called angle of elevation. And the second situation, an observer is standing on the top of the tower, that means from the above of his eyesight, and he is observing from the top of the tower, and this is a line of sight. He is observing a plan which is down of his eyesight, and this is from line of sight. Then in this situation it is called angle of depression. The angle is called angle of depression. Here, angle formed with the eyesight and the line of sight. Angle formed the line of sight and his eyesight. If he is observing straight, and the angle formed between them is equals to angle formed with the horizontal line and line of sight. These two angles will be equal because alternate angles are equal here. So this is the angle of depression. So let us go for an example of it. One of the example, an observer is observing an object which is there on the top of the tower. There is a flag. He is observing this flag. The angle of elevation is formed because we know that he is observing an object which is above of his eyesight. It is called angle of elevation. Here angle formed is 45 degrees. The angle of elevation is formed with the flag which is there on the top of the tower is 45 degrees. The distance from the tower is 60 meters. The foot distance is given from the observer and tower is 60 meters. Let us find out the height of the tower. Let us recall the problem. An observer is observing which is there on the top of the tower. An observer is observing a flag which is there on the top of the tower, and it makes 45 degrees an angle, and the distance between tower and observer is 60 meters. 60 meters, we need to find out the height of the tower. So we know that here we need to find out height of the tower and the foot distance is given. Let us take, this is triangle ABC. This is ABC. And we have taken this, the height of the tower including the flag height as seen. So it is now triangle ABC is formed. From triangle ABC we can observe that it is height of tower and foot distance is given. So the relation between the height of the tower and foot distance is tan theta. Tan theta is equals to opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side is BC divided by AB. Opposite side is BC and adjacent side is AB. So tan theta here angle is formed is 45 degrees. The angle formed is 45 degrees. This is the angle of elevation. So tan 45 degrees is equals to BC. BC we don't know. let us find out the BC. So let us take BC as h. H meters. So h divided by AB. AB is the distance from the tower to an observer, that is 60 meters. So let us write 60 meters here as AB. Here we know that from the trigonometric values tan 45 is 1, h by 60. So let us find out the value of h, that is h is equals to 60 meters. When we do cross multiplication we got 60 meters. So height of the tower is 60 meters.